Hey guys, it's Steph and I'm back today with a tag video. I did this tag a few years back, but I thought that I would revisit it since I have no idea what to film right now because I'm in the middle of doing a lot of different things for this channel and I wasn't sure what to upload and I haven't uploaded in a while, so I decided that a tag video would be great. So this is going to be the Library Lovers book tag, or the Library Lovers tag, whatever you want to call it. I did this a few years back and I just started visiting my library again about a month and a half or so ago. So I decided that why not, because things have definitely changed at my library and I wanted to show you guys some updated video and things like that. So first, let me show you some footage of my actual library, which I thought would be really cool to add to this video. So I'm going to include that video now. I had to be quiet, of course, because it's the library, and I had to make it look like I wasn't videotaping, which was harder than people realize. But I think you guys will enjoy the footage, so stay tuned, and I'll be back at the end of the footage with the tag.
Alright guys, so just here at the library. Haven't really done much. This is what I chose to do for my birthday. Is come to the library, so I'll show you an overview. So we have a kids section back there. And here's an overview of my library. Now I'm going to take you guys upstairs to the second. Alright guys, so I'm taking the elevator up to the second floor to show you guys where they keep YA and non-fiction things for adults and things. They have a whole graphic novel section.
Alright guys, so I hope you enjoyed those little tidbits of footage from my library. I love going there. The hardest thing about the library is that it's downtown, Morgantown. So it's like one-way streets all the way around and parking is like a quarter for a half hour. So it's pretty crazy. And it's like kind of hard to get to, honestly. Like if you're not in that part of town, generally you don't try to go to that part of town. So that's why I don't get to go to the library very often. But I have the questions right here on my phone, and I thought that we should just get right into the Library Lovers tag. And let's see here. Okay, so the first one is, how often do you visit your local library? Recently, in the last year or so, it was like once or twice a month, because as I said, it's kind of hard to get to, so it makes it hard to like get somebody to be able to like drop me off or things like that after work. And plus I don't get off work usually till 5 and the library closes at 4, so yeah, I've been working 8 to 5 every day, so I haven't really been able to go to the library. But this year so far, in January, I went 3 times, so I'm going to try to make that a habit to go to the library 3 times a month, just as a getting away from everybody, being in a quiet setting, different setting, and just getting out. Question 2A is, are you the type of person who checks out more books than you know you can read, or are you someone who checks out the exact amount of books you intend on reading before they are due? As for, like, actual books, like hard or physical books, I check out just as many as I plan to read. However, my library also has WV Deli, which is a site where I can check out audiobooks, ebooks, and things like that. I usually check out way more than I intend to read, and I only have them for 14 days, and I try not to renew them because there's always somebody waiting for the book or the audiobook. So right now I figured this would be a good time to show you what I'm reading. I decided to continue reading the Land of Elon stories. The Dark Hills Divide and Beyond the Valley of Thorns. I actually have this book at my grandmother's, but I wasn't able to get it because she said she put it away, so I got the first 2 books of the series. My library actually only has the 3rd book. They don't have the last 2 books, so those I'm going to try to get maybe to buy the set or something. But I got these 2 books, and they're due February 16th, and I will definitely be done with these probably by the end of this week. Let me show you guys my app. My library has this app that you can download. I think a couple libraries are like that, but it's called Libby, and it's like my library shelf and everything. So when you go to loans, it shows you all the audiobooks that I have that I'm reading. Didn't mean to click on you. And it has like the holds that I'm placing. I'm trying to read the Marie Kondo book and You as an audiobook. So I don't usually get ebooks from there, but I can read them on my Nook or my Kindle now that I have a Kindle. But yeah, so that's what I do. So physical books, I check out just as many as I plan to read within the 14 days or 3 weeks or whatever the checkout period is. But when it comes to ebooks and audiobooks, I check out way more than I intend to listen to or read, because I feel like if I have them, if I get in the mood to listen to an audiobook, I can listen to an audiobook in about a day or 2 days. For instance, I just got done reading Scrappy Little Nobody, or listening to Scrappy Little Nobody by Anna Kendrick. It was the greatest audiobook I've ever listened to, because it was read by Anna Kendrick. So when you're reading it and she's reading it to you, it's like you're actually talking face to face with Anna Kendrick about the book. And she's really funny, and she makes it very enjoyable to listen to. I listened to it in a day and a half. So it was like a 9 or 8 hour, 7 hours? I think it might have been 7 hours of an audiobook, and I listened to it in like 2 days. Well, about a day and a half. So, but yeah, next question. 2B is, how many books do you check out each month? Okay, so as for physical books, I usually check out 2 to 3, depending on what I check out. This first time, I decided to check out 2. I usually check out about 2 to 3 physical books, 3 to 4 ebooks, and about 5 to 6 audiobooks per month. 3, how old were you when you got your first library card? I was probably about 6 or 7, because my library had this program that you could bring your kids and you read, and after your kids read 100 books, you get you get coupons, and the kids get gifts and things like that. Plus, my library has these little computers that you can get on when you're a kid to teach you things. So I was probably about 6 or 7. Next question is, number 4 is, do you go to your library looking for a particular book, or do you check out anything that piques your interest? It depends. I do go on and check out the new releases, and I try to put a hold on it. So whenever it comes in, I just go to the library just to get it. But usually I browse the library because I love being in the library. It's so quiet, and it's like just really awesome to be surrounded by books. So I usually go up and down each aisle of something that piques my interest. So, like, I love going through the fiction bookshelves. So we have this entire section of fiction bookshelves. And I usually just walk through them and try to find something that piques my interest or an author that piques my interest. Sometimes I'll just be walking through, like, especially, this is considered a middle grade or a children's fiction. When I'm walking through these books, I'm like, oh my gosh, that looks like such a good book. I'd never read it, so I usually just grab it and check it out. Upstairs we have YA, which I showed you guys in the footage, and I usually just go to the YA section and, like, pick a book. So sometimes I go in with the idea, like, I put a hold on a book and now they have it. Like, for instance, Slayer by Kristen White. I'm trying to get that book, but it has 2 people ahead of me, so God only knows when I'm going to get it. 5, do you use your library to check out just books, or do you also check out DVDs, audiobooks, etc.? At the actual library, I only check out books, but online or with the Libby app, I check out other things. So in the actual library, just books. They do offer audiobooks in the library, but they're like CDs, and I don't really like audiobooks that way. They do check out DVDs sometimes, but I don't really care much for DVDs. I usually just watch Netflix, so there's no need to check out those. Next up is number 6. It says, from what section of the library do you check out a majority of your books? Personally, mostly just the original, like, fiction, like adult fiction area. I do seem to get quite a lot of books from that. I also really get a lot of books from YA, of course. Occasionally, I go into the nonfiction section and I get into, like, this like, mood, I guess, to read nothing but nonfiction for a while. But usually it's YA and adult fiction. Occasionally I'll hit up the contemporary shelves, but I'm not a big fan of contemporary books, so I usually steer away from those. Question 7A is, what is your favorite part of using your local library? My favorite part for using my local library would probably have to be the fact that it's a free way to get books that you want to read, because I am, right now, because my boss actually cut back hours quite a bit, so I am in a book buying hold, so it's nice to be able to go to the library and just grab the book that I want to read without having to spend the money to buy it. Another thing I really like is to be able to use the computers. Something I've been really getting into is my family's history, or like my genealogy, I think is how they pronounce it. And we actually have a free thing on the computers at the library that you could click on that takes you through your entire family history if you can locate your last name and everything. So the library is definitely a really cool place. Like, if you don't have internet, it's like a free way to go and put in applications, things like that. And I love looking at the reference books. I know it sounds kind of funny, but at my library, you're not able to actually check out reference books. I don't know how it is at your library, but I will get in the mood to, like, learn about something. For instance, right now I'm taking a social marketing class, like a social media marketing class, and I went and looked at the marketing reference books and things like that one day. So it's just a really awesome place to get some really awesome knowledge out of new things and things like that. Okay, last but not least is, what is your least favorite part of using your local library? My least favorite part would have to be the, how would you say that? The condition of the books. I do understand that this is a children's fiction section, so the books are pretty, like, bent up and things like that. That's the only complaint I really have. That plus they always have something going on, which is awesome, but sometimes if you don't keep up with their schedule, you'll show up at the library expecting to have a quiet day to yourself, and they're having, like, a readathon thing with children, or they're having some kind of movie day, and you just kind of put yourself in that position. But other than that, there's really nothing that I dislike about my library other than the fact that they have so many different like, activities and things going on all at once. Like, the children's section is on one floor, so it's in, like, the first floor. So if you really want some quiet, you kind of have to go to the second floor, which is where all of the computers are for like adults and for teens. So yeah, other than that, I mean, it's a great library. We have about 10, I think, different branches for my library. So there's definitely a huge widespan resource that I can get books from, which is awesome. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Definitely take a moment to do this tag. I would love to know about all of your libraries. I also have a donation going on down below for my local library because we are trying to raise money. Well, I am trying to raise money for my birthday, which my birthday was the 27th, to kind of help them get some new books and some maintenance done and things like that. So if you want to donate, definitely take a moment to do so. It's not required, of course, because I know everybody has their own libraries to support, but I believe in supporting local libraries, and the money that I'm raising is strictly for my branch, not for all the libraries in my area, so it's going to take a big hit to my library, which is one of the libraries that are most forgotten about. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!